Just thought I'd keep everybody up to date on what I'm up to. Working on this friggin' website. And I didn't want to do the website by myself because I happen to believe a lot of people need to get back to work. And it's, we have to build teamwork. We have to build jobs for all of us. If one person's doing all of the work, um, it's like our economic system right now. How does it work out if one person is doing all of the work? Is anybody else have any money to make any kind of system work? Even if it's cooperative. I mean, that's barter system. It's like, yeah, right. That a barter system is not going to motivate anybody to do anything because if that were true, then it wouldn't be so hard to get a team together and work on a project that doesn't really matter whether it works or not. It's at least a sign in a direction of change. Um, but it is what it is. We are where we are, where we can't form teams. Um, Needs to get started anyways. One of the challenging things for me is when I was at my lowest, when I couldn't take abuse anymore, that's when I left. And when you leave abuse, nobody will tell you that the abuse escalates. Your abuser doesn't exactly like it when he loses his slave. Um, so that was a surprise to me because I was told that I'd be protected. So I had gone to programming school with a grade 9 education, got 89%, got a job when nobody else could get a job, but I couldn't keep working in that profession because the abuse was way too high. When I got into programming, I was living off of like 2 hours sleep every night. Um, and when the abuse just would not stop, just constantly kept increasing, I couldn't handle it anymore. I was starting to lose it. So I had to take a job that would allow me to live with abuse at home and still go to work, which is factory work. That's what our system relies on, is as long as your life is hell and you still need to make a living, then you don't mind doing the crappiest job for the lowest pay because that's all there is when you're dealing with abuse. So the system very much needs everybody to be dealing with a lot of abuse because then you won't be at the top of your game to be able to work in those executive jobs. You know, those executive jobs that are making sure everybody's living through hell just so that the executives can make their money. So, anyways, while I was working in this factory, I still worked at night on programming. I was hoping one day I could get into the career because it would pay very well. But I couldn't do it unless the abuse stopped. After going to court, that took 4 years to get in front of a judge and to find out that these judges, the only reason all of this corruption went on is because all of the friggin' judges are corrupt. So there was no fixing that problem. And that's when I landed on this system. But at that point, it's like my brain shut off certain aspects, and one of them was programming. Everything I knew is just not as easy to do anymore. Probably because of the level of pain involved. Um, because I spent so much time programming, um, it was very, very painful for my kids. I wanted to do a job where I could still stay at home and be there for my kids. Programming was one way of doing it. I could do it at home. And because I was on a computer, when my kids were going through friggin' hell, they didn't think I was there for them. Yet they didn't realize I was in the room, and when they needed me, I was there. They just wanted money. They were, well, first of all, hungry. Their father wouldn't provide them with food, and the little income that I could make didn't feed the kids enough. Didn't give them any kind of life. Basically, living off of less than what a welfare system pays you. I had to live off that while I was working a full-time job, just because the expense of working uh, needed to pay for a car to get to work, needed to pay the insurance. Uh, a lot of expense went into actually working that job, that at the end of the day, when you take minimum wage off of it, I made a hell of a lot more money off a welfare system than I did in an actual working system, where I got paid for a living. So the pain involved with programming, all of the work I did to find out, well, now even what the corporate structure is, I couldn't work for, I couldn't do programming for any company right now, just because I know what they build. I know what kind of fucked up systems they are, since I've had this wake up of what all systems look like and how dysfunctional all systems are. Um, it would have to be a pretty amazing, even my project that I've got. It's still really hard for me to wrap my brain around programming now because of the level of pain involved in it. But I have the skills. I know how to do it. It's a matter of breathing through it and not hating the process. And it's just the way things go. That's the way things start off. I know eventually, once something gets started and there's opportunity for other people there, then they will jump in. People don't want to invest themselves in building something for themselves. They want somebody to build it for them, and they want to go and work for somebody else. So it's like, enjoy the system that you're in, because that's what it is. Um, I'm no more than that business guy that's willing to start the business, do all of the groundwork, do all of the investment to create a job for somebody to work, and they would want equal pay. And I don't believe in somebody is worth more than another, in no matter what circumstances. So there's no way um, doing all of that work, building something, um, is the start, but it doesn't mean that I'm worth more than anybody else. Um, any job that ends up being created is a job that I can't do myself. It's going to have to be somebody else. It's like when you fit into something that makes sense to you, then it'll just work. So in the meantime, I'm working on this software program. I've got the database login working, but I need to tie it up with PayPal, another system I'm not a fan of. But you need to use what's available and then transform it once you've changed the system structure. Well, what a lot of people aren't realizing is there's only a very small amount of people that actually have any money in this planet. And what you need to do is take all of that money out of their hands and put it back into our hands. And all of that control needs to be controlled by we the people. So you need to funnel all of that money in. Um, And there needs to be some kind of system, some kind of structure that draws the money out of the rich and gives to the poor. And it can't be an ongoing system. It's got to be a system that's got to be obsolete. If it works, it means, okay, everything's equal again. Everything is calmer, peaceful. Anyways, that's the goal. So I'm working now trying to get this PayPal connected to my website, and it's a struggle. So, but that's today's, even if it takes me a week, um, I will figure it out. But if anybody has any helpful information of how to join PayPal with a website, it shouldn't be all that difficult. It's just something I've never done before and need to learn about it. So there is my daily update. I am getting on a pretty good routine. Um, not perfect at the routine yet, but I'm loving it. And it is a matter of really being in the moment and really enjoying it, taking lots of breaks. Keeping a very good balance seems to be something I've always sucked at. It's either tunnel vision, dive in obsessively until the job gets done. It's how I've had to survive. Now I've got to do all of that highly intense focus and mix it in with balance. So that's my lesson, is how to accomplish something with some balance in my life. When one keeps a lesson with their own individual life, the whole global thing doesn't seem to be so big. It's just focus on how you're doing. How are you blending in with your world? And I ain't blending in with my world very good, but it's a work in progress. Um, Everything is a work in progress, but I'm focused mostly on myself, and I think everybody's in the same process. Everybody's at different levels, but we'll all get there. This is an amazing time. This is a time for change, and I'm pretty sure all of humanity is ready for change. So anybody out there that knows anything about PayPal and PHP would love to hear from you. Peace out.